What's up guys, Luke Deutschlander here with another video. If you guys like my videos, make sure you like, share, and subscribe. And today we're going to be talking about why I think working a regular job is a complete and total scam. And what actually triggered this video is my very own brother today has been a victim of this scam for the last 4 years of his life. Now, I'm not saying that jobs don't have their place and that everybody's kind of got their place in the world. Like I said, very appreciative for people out there that work a regular job. Everybody's got their place, but it's just not for some people. And honestly, in my opinion, jobs are a pyramid scheme. It really is. People talk about network marketing, courses, all that being scams. Well, really, a job is a scam because of the fact that you're probably never ever going to be the CEO of the company. Now, of course, you hear great stories out there, etc., 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 of people actually becoming the CEO of a big giant company, but that doesn't happen very often, and you have, very, very, very low chances of that happening to you. Whereas if you went and started your, own hustle, your own side hustle, or you started a side business, your own business, whatever, got some employees, you could potentially be the CEO of your own company and have a much better chance of doing that than working for a random company and trying to somehow become the CEO. I mean, it's virtually impossible nowadays just because of the fact that every company is so well established out there. Not saying that it isn't possible, like I said, not trying to bite my own tongue here, but you have a much better chance of making much more money and being much more successful in your own business if that's for you. Like I said, some people are very content at their jobs. Some people, went to school and got high-paying jobs, such as, maybe somebody who's a doctor or a lawyer. But even doctors and lawyers often branch out because they're intelligent people. They often branch out and end up making their own law firm or their own, doctor practorate firm, etc. Or, if you're a dentist, a lot of dentists will go and start their own firm. So once again, they too realize, even with all their schooling, they realize that a job is not the way to go, and they go and start their own firm. So that being said, what triggered this video today is my very own brother has been working at the same job for 4 years, and he's just recently kind of started to get into the online buying and selling thing just because obviously he's been seeing me do very well with it. And I don't know, I'm sure he looks up to me, and I'm sure I've motivated him, and we've had quite a few talks and stuff, and I've been telling him for like the past 6 months that I think he should just leave his job and he should go full-time into, basically getting into what I do and, possibly looking into his own avenues and trying to do that. Well, today, he actually got fired. And I'm not trying to rip on my brother or anything like that. I don't know. He seemed to be okay with it, which is good. That's really all that matters. But the way I looked at it and what I told him this day is I said, it kind of sucks knowing that you can go to a job, and this is for everybody out there, that you can go to a job and work there 2, 3, 4, 5 years, and then all you are is like an infraction. Like if you make one little mistake, one tiny mistake, that's not, with corporate policy, oh, you're fired. You're just a number to them. And that's why jobs are a scam, and there's a bunch of other things that we're going to talk about in this video, but I just told my brother today, I gave him some uplifting words. I said, don't worry about it. That's all right. I mean, it's just going to give you more time to be self-employed, to go do your own thing. He's got this little junk removal business that he does, and then on top of that, like I said, he's been getting more into the buying and selling stuff, which he's, really seems to enjoy. I've given him some stuff where I've purchased large lots, kind of taken some stuff out that I've wanted to sell, and then gave the rest to him where I made a little money, and then he made a little money, and he's been really happy with it. So you know what? Power to him. And screw the company that he was working for, just because of the fact that basically why he got fired was because he legitimately called in sick. And he told me today, and my brother's pretty honest, so I don't, there's no reason why my brother would lie to me. He said this is the only time that he's legitimately called in sick to the company in the last 4 years. In the last 4 years, and if you're looking at the screen right now, we're going to look at hardworking employees. My brother's one of them. He got fired for calling in sick one time. And that is what happens when you work a regular job, especially when you work at a corporate company. And so we're going to kind of look at basically why a job is a scam and just why having your own business is much better. And then on top of that, we're also going to look at what you should do if you want to keep working your job. So number one, why is a job a pyramid scheme? Why do I think it's a pyramid scheme? Why do all people who are self-employed think it's a pyramid scheme? So if you look off to the left here, just looking on the screen, I'm going to zoom in here. So obviously at the top of the pyramid scheme, which is a job, which is, what many people do. They 9 to 5 work at a job. Boom, zooming in here. CEO. The CEO is at the top of the pyramid scheme. What are the chances that you working at a random company is going to result in you actually being the CEO? Very, very slim. Next in line down below the CEO is the president or, basically an executive, you might want to call them. And that person, they're basically so far up the CEO's ASS that you're never ever going to get there anyway. So let's bump it down to the vice president. Vice president makes really good money too. Vice president's got his head so far up the president's ASS that vice president, president, and CEO are pretty much all in their own little triangle by themselves. So don't even try and get into that sector. Now let's bump it down to middle management. Now, I would say that it's very, very, very possible for somebody to become a manager or like a shift leader, or basically, we'll call middle management, let's call them like a salaried member of management. Like, they have it a little bit better than like team leaders or supervisors looking here in the pyramid scheme. But to go from middle management to vice president, president, or CEO, virtually impossible. Just because, like I said, they're all kind of in their own triangle and they're all in tune with each other. And it's not very easy. And if you were to work, say, as middle management, a lot of managers that are salaried are overworked. Sometimes they work 3 or 4 day, 12-hour shifts, sometimes 5 days. They're working 50, 60 hours a week, and they're getting screwed because they're salaried, and their hourly rate really isn't even that great. It's just guaranteed pay, so they're like, hey, what the heck, why not do it? You're actually screwing yourself by doing that, because if you were to go out and apply those same hours to actually being self-employed, you would make more money. Can't talk here, I guess, tonight. But yeah, if you went out and just basically applied those same hours to being self-employed, you would make more money. Now let's go down to team leaders and supervisors. Team leaders and supervisors, very possible to get that. But once again, like I said, at team lead and supervisors, most of those people are making 13 to 15 an hour. You can easily go out there and make more money than 13, 15 an hour if you find a niche and you basically just come up with your own business or start a side hustle. And then the last thing on the pyramid scheme is the hardworking employees, which is kind of sad because most hardworking employees, they're the good guys. They're the guys that actually make the pyramid scheme. They actually build the pyramid, because without the hardworking employees, the managers wouldn't have anybody to manage, the vice president wouldn't have anybody to manage, and the president and CEO wouldn't make any money. So the hardworking employees, the people that are basically desperate for bread, water, and then rent money, are the ones that actually make the whole pyramid. And what's sad, though, is that those hardworking people always are the ones that get stuck at the very bottom of the pyramid. So, like I said, your job at the bottom for more than 25 years of your life, no thanks. Looks like a pyramid scheme. This picture pretty much says it all. If you don't build your dreams, someone will hire you to help build theirs. And that's all the CEO is doing. I'm not hating on the CEO, of any company. Obviously, someday, if you build your own business the right way, someday you'll be the CEO. The best thing you can do, though, is treat your employees good. And there's a lot of corporations out there that really don't. My brother's corporation that happened today, very good example. He showed up late 1 day out of 4 years. Or not late, he called in sick 1 day out of 4 years, and they just fired him. That's it. Oh, it's against policy to do that because you don't have any sick days yet this year or something like that. Whatever it was. It was ridiculous. It was absolutely crazy. And, from what he said, he was doing really well there. And it's a good thing, though, because I could tell he wasn't too upset about it. I'm sure he was, maybe initially. But at the same time, it's a good thing because he's got his own little side thing going. He's working with me here and there. He's going to learn stuff from me. He's going to be okay. He's going to be just fine. And, it's kind of a little push, I guess. Maybe wasn't the one that he was expecting, but when you get fired, it's a little push to basically put some more emphasis on your own business and your side hustle because it all depends on you now. So, off to the picture to the right, why I also think jobs are a scam is basically millions of people around the world, like I said, have fallen for the 40-40-40 scam. And what this scam is basically commonly known as a job. It's what schools teach us. You go to school from basically grade, kindergarten all the way up to high school and then into college. Now, college is a little bit different. I do think college does have some benefits just because of the fact that college is kind of, you get to pick what you learn. At least you get to learn what you want. Where school, everything is so structured, they tell you what to do. You got to ask when you got to go to the bathroom. Literally, school, what it does is it kills creativity and it trains people to get ready to go into the workforce and just work a regular job. It completely kills creativity and mindset, and it's not a good thing. So the 40-40 scam is basically where you make someone else rich by working 40 hours a week for 40 years of your life, and then you try to retire on 40% of what you couldn't afford to live off of in the first place, commonly known as a job. So, like I said, job, pyramid scheme, 40-40-40 scam, avoid it. Now, let's talk about what you should do if you can't avoid having a job. Like, let's say you need the stable income. Let's say your side hustle, your own business. Let's just say you don't even have one yet. consider phone flipping, consider flipping things, consider something. And basically what you need to do to get out of your job, to get out of the 40-40-40 scam, is it's going to take some work. It's not going to be easy because I did it myself. I worked over 60 hours a week as, basically in manual labor. And the whole entire time I was doing that, I was building my online business slowly but surely. I would go out at 5, 6 a.m. in the morning, and I would work basically a 12 or 14 hour day. And when I got done with that, I would come home, I would post ads, and I would work 6 to 7 hours in my office. There was many nights that I only got 3 to 4 hours sleep. But you know what? It was 100% worth it to develop the network, the knowledge, the business, the success, etc., and all the stuff that I've done. Way more freedom, way more pay. It's just better. And not to mention, I know that nobody's going to fire me. As long as I work hard for myself, everything's all good. I don't even have to worry about it. I don't have to worry about walking in 2 minutes late one day and then say, well, you're fired because we've got tons of money. We'll hire somebody else and you're just a number here. It doesn't matter how good you are because you're not the CEO, the president, or the vice president. That's a terrible feeling. So that being said, it is going to take some work, but it is possible to quit your job or to at least have some more financial freedom while working a job. And what you basically got to do is, like I said, is you got to go to your job, and after you get done, you got to somehow motivate yourself. Think about what motivates you, whether it's traveling, freedom, money, etc., providing a better life for your girlfriend or your family or whatever it may be. You got to motivate yourself, and when you come home from work, you got to work for yourself. You got to get excited. You got to get excited about working for yourself. And if all of you out there do that, I promise you, you'll have a better bank account and more freedom by the time 2019 is over, and you'll probably have a better idea of what you want to do with your life. A lot of people just work a job, but they're not happy with their job. They don't know what they want to do in life because they're so stuck in their job and then their way in the 9 to 5 that they don't even get their mind to think outside the box because they're so focused on their job. You show up to a job, you get yelled at because you don't mop the floor right. I mean, this is just an example, but I'm sure there's somebody out there watching this video that's heard that before. Where when you work for yourself, it's all about creativity. It's about doing things your way. It's about figuring things out. Example, if you come up with an idea, like my brother was saying today when he got fired from his job, he's like, me working here and actually being an employee, there's things that I've seen that could be done differently that would make the company better as a whole or make it more efficient. Well, guess what? Since he's not a manager or the vice president or the president or CEO, changes will never happen. When you're in your own business, you can make all the changes that you want. So what's really cool about being in your own business or at least working a job and then also having a successful side hustle is your business, one, has no income limits. You push yourself, your business has potential into infinity. You can make as much money as you want because you are your own boss. And that's what's awesome about it. So the harder you push yourself, the more money you're going to end up making, the more successful you're going to be. Where a job, like I said, many people get stuck towards the bottom of the pyramid and they get limited. So they never ever get that unlimited income potential. It just doesn't happen. And then when they retire, they get even less money to live off of, and it's terrible. So like I said, it's hard work, but if you guys want to get out of your job and, either that or if you just want to basically have a, more successful 2019, you need to go to your job, work, do as you're told, but the whole day while you're working, what I used to do is I would just think of ideas, stuff that I wanted to do. When you get home, go in your office or whatever your side hustle may be. Maybe, you're trying to start your own construction business or maybe you're trying to start your own electronic flipping business. Just go out there when you get home from work, get inspired, and go work for yourself and do that. If you do that the entire year in 2019, I promise you, you'll either be able to quit your job by the end of the year, or it's very possible that you'll keep your job, but you won't feel so stressed at your job because of the fact that if you were to lose it, you have something that's pretty solid lined up that's taking off for you. That's the best way to do it. And you can make a lot of money, by the way, holding a job and then also having a side hustle income. Trust me, it's more hours of the day. It's a lot more work and it's a lot more stressful to have a full-time job and then also, basically have almost a full-time business on the side. But you can do both and you can make a lot of money doing that and you can save a lot of money and save it up and then you can invest it, etc. But that being said, that is why I think a regular 9-to-5 job is basically a scam. I think there is a huge limitation on people out there, and I think that education kind of also programs people to just go right to a job. They don't even think about, encouraging people to start their own businesses. Schools don't teach you how to be an entrepreneur. They don't teach you how to balance a checkbook. They don't teach you really anything about money. High school is probably the most pointless thing that I've ever seen in my entire life, in my opinion. And that's why Tai Lopez is out there saying that, school is a scam. That's basically what Tai Lopez says. School is a scam, and it is. Besides the social experiences, which aren't that great anyways, a lot of people get bullied in high school and, other bad stuff happens to them, etc. And sometimes they go down in the wrong path. It's really not all that great because of the fact that schools aren't teaching people common sense. They're just basically teaching them how to be told what to do. Like I said, you have to ask to go to the bathroom. You have to ask to do this. And it's just like that at your work. If you work at a factory job, you got to ask, hey, can I go to the bathroom? I know it's not break time yet, but I really need to go. So schools, jobs, etc., it kills creativity, it limits your income, and it keeps you stuck at the bottom of the pyramid, where if you're self-employed or you start these side hustles, you pretty much have an unlimited potential for your income to just keep growing and growing and growing. So that being said, I hope this motivates somebody today. I hope this helps everybody out there or anybody that's dealing with a similar situation or anybody who may have been fired in the last month from their job. Don't give up. Don't give up on yourself. Go out there and get it. You can do it. It can definitely work for you. Like I said, and if you're not at the point where you can just completely go and start your own business, well, hold your job down, start a side hustle, and I promise you it'll pay off. So that being said, hope all of you enjoyed this video. Make sure you like, share, and subscribe, and I will see you in the next one.